persuade people to see the benefits in getting ADHD kids active instead of using medications. According to the American Psychiatric Association, 5 to 10% of American children suffer from ADHD. ADHD is attention deficit hyper disorder. It's a common behavioral disorder where kids act out without thinking, they're hyperactive, and they have trouble focusing. All children, mostly the younger ones, will act this way if they're excited or anxious. Getting them active doesn't always mean active as in sports or playing, active in anything. Their issue is focusing, so get them focusing on something that's interesting to them. You can do this in many ways, from different plays to different things to study to physical activity, as well as music. The physical activity acts as natural medicine for the body. Physical activity elevates the dopamine, norepinephrine, and the serotonin levels. Elevating these levels helps those who suffer with ADHD to focus and to pay better attention. Team sports are a great mix of physical activity as well as socialization. The team sports allows people to be a part of a group and learn how to work together towards a central goal and communicating with one another in a social environment. The research shows that children who took part in regular physical activity showed enhanced cognitive brain functions. Journal and Attention Disorders found that 26 minutes of physical activity a day for 8 weeks significantly reduced the symptoms in most children. ADHD is misdiagnosed all the time and is misdiagnosed more than 20% of the time in the children. It's often misdiagnosed because the child could be maybe the youngest kid in the class and the most immature. For example, if you have a just turned 5-year-old in the class of mostly almost 6-year-olds, they would look like ADHD, whereas they just needed to mature a little longer. Some ADHD medications have some pretty severe side effects. Some of these side effects include high blood pressure, heart disease, seizures, and psychiatric problems. Now, these are over a long-term period, but that doesn't mean that you should continue them. You can get your kids active in music if that's what they really like. The concentration that music needs is exactly what the child needs at the same point. Getting your kids active in sports, like I said, is a great way to help them with their team skills and their socialization skills while they're concentrating on, like soccer, for example. You gotta always follow that ball. You're running towards the ball to get the ball into the goal, just like all the other children are. Some children that have ADHD, this would be very beneficial to them, as sometimes they would be in la la land doing their own thing. So you can get the kids active in anything. Medications are very beneficial. I'm not saying to not use medications, but especially in the case of the misdiagnosis, wouldn't it be more beneficial to try the other options first to make sure that that's really what it is and to see if these help instead of just always using traditional medications? Sometimes the medications have severe side effects that outweigh the pros of what the medicine is actually doing.